The topic is on the golden years, and in fact in the future I think one whole 2-day program could be just on that, because I believe that mindful aging is a challenge that we have to address as a race, because thanks to modern medical advancements people are living longer. We have opportunities to be in this physical body for a longer time. But then at the same time, we are not given the opportunities to keep it healthy. And hence what happens is the time where we should be enjoying the peak of life becomes us spending more time in hospitals. And this is actually a big issue we have. And recently in our hospital, they started a special clinic for geriatrics. And the first thing they did when they started that is that they said we will have music and yoga therapy as part of it, which is unique, because in that discussion I brought up a point which I would like to share here. People are not coming just to solve their problems. People are coming because they want to be heard. This is the most important. So when we talk about the golden years, it is not just saying I'll find a new drug. It is not saying I'm going to find a new prosthesis. It's not I'm going to find a new technology. That's all good. Fine, let them do it. Can we develop people who will listen? Because the most important aspect of being a human is that we want to be heard, we want to be valued, we want to be respected, we want to be loved. And this is missing in the modern therapeutic setting. You are a case sheet, you have a certain history, you get a certain procedure and drug and get you out of there as soon as possible. Because the more you see, the more the balance sheet can be balanced. This is how it has gone. Yesterday I was talking about the art of medicine with a heart, becoming the science of medicine with a head, and now a business medicine with neither. No heart, no head, only a business with a deep pocket. Now, this is not to criticize modern medicine. What can we change? And that is why when we are training our therapists at our university, one of the most fundamental aspects is active listening. When someone comes to you with a certain challenge, the challenge may be mobility. The challenge may be a lack of flexibility of the body that then impacts the flexibility of the mind, because the mind and body, this is maybe news for some people, yes, the mind and body are connected. We often think mind is the domain of the psychiatrist, body is the domain of the general medical and general surgery, and the twain shall never meet. Often this happens. The mind and body are interconnected, which means a healthy mind and a healthy body is essential. But what happens? The mind says, get up in the morning and do your yoga. And what does the body say? Tomorrow. Snooze button. That is why all alarms have snooze buttons. That was the worst invention ever in human history.
I love it.
I use it all the time. That's why I'm sharing that. What I do is I trick the system. So what I do, if I want to get up at 5:45, I set my alarm at 5:35 with 2 snooze buttons. I trick myself that yes, I'm still getting the snooze, but I am actually doing what I wanted to do. Because I know if I keep it at 5:45, it will be 6 by the time I get out of bed. So you trick your own self. It's a good thing. The mind wants to do something. The body says, no, I have listened to you too long. Whatever you said has ruined me. Typical partner relationship talk, mind and body. The body says, I feel good, I want to do this. And the mind says, no, you have to go to work. You have to make money. Look at your padosi. हमारे देश में biggest disease is look at padosi. Very big issue. Always comparing. My son and daughter, when I used to go to their parent-teacher meeting, would love it. Because the teacher would start, they are not doing so well and this. And I'm like, my son is my son. He is what he is. I want him to realize his potential. I don't care what he gets in comparison to the rest of his classmates. And the next time the teacher's like, don't talk to this parent. He is a troublemaker. He's not getting enough marks in chemistry. I'm like, okay, fine. He loves biology and he's going to go into sports science and he'll manage it. The thing is that don't compare. Comparison is the thief of happiness. You get 80,000 rupees a month in your job and you are very happy on first day. I'm going to get 80,000 rupees. You get to your workplace and during the tea break, 1 hour later, find out your colleague is getting 85,000. Gaya? Kushi has become? See the Sada. 5 minutes, 1 hour ago you were happy. The same thing. We are our individual. We all age differently. But one guarantee is we are going to age. Right? We are going to age. The second guarantee is everyone who's born is going to die. Sida Sada. No, nobody has escaped that, okay? Till now. Nobody has escaped that. So what do we need to do? We need to say, yes, I was born, I'm going to die, in between I'm going to age. How can I do the best with what I have been given? With my body. One person is flexible, they do the Surya Namaskar, good. Another person is not so flexible, can they do some of the pranayama? Another person is not able to move around easily, can they do the relaxation? Another person is not able to do any of the physical practices, can you give them some contemplative, mindful thinking practice? Someone cannot use the mind properly, can you use the body? See, this is where you have to adapt to the individual, but what is the goal? To bring out the best for that person, given their potentialities and given their challenges. Minimize the weakness, maximize the strength. Minimize the threat, maximize the opportunities. SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis. And this is where I would like to tell a story before Sangeeta leads us into, okay, you're going to play games. Nice, okay.
It's a yogic game.
Okay, fine. So before that, I would just like to express this point. We do different practices, and I had a former Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, Dr. Jnanam. And I remember he came to a series of 6 weeks of training we had for senior citizens of Pondicherry. We do a lot of work with the Pondicherry Senior Citizen Association. We copyrighted a silver yoga protocol, which is part of our university copyrights, and we do it. And what we are explaining now is part of much of that. And I remember him coming for the valedictory after doing this 6-week program, and he said, Dr. Ananda, the biggest takeaway I have had from the yoga practice is what he termed turn ability. Turn ability. He said the biggest problem we have as we age is the spine gets fused. And so what happens is you are standing like this and somebody talks to you and you have to turn your whole body to actually hear them. And then somebody behind you talks, you have to turn your whole body because the whole musculoskeletal system has got concretized. And he said, these practices give us this turn ability. And the spine is becoming more flexible. This was his takeaway from it. And I always remember that because imagine the quality of life that comes up when you can do something. And this is something that when we started our yoga therapy center in Jipma, the first thing we did was Senior Citizen Association. We started a training program with the blessings we did. In the next center we started, again Senior Citizen Association, come in, you people are our first group of trainees, get your blessings. And when they wanted to close down the center, these were the very people who went up to the director of JIPMA and said, you are never closing this center. They stood up for us, not the other patients. So can we have that physical competency? Now if you say, I want to be like what I was when I was 18, well, I'm sorry, I don't think even God can do that. But when I'm 80, can I be the best I can be when I'm 80? So it is not about an 18 and 80. It is about you being at your optimal functioning at each point of life. You are 50, be at the optimal. You are 80, be optimal. But please, for God's sake, don't compare. And in classes, one person goes down and touches the floor. The next person can only get to the knee. And so what do? They try to overdo it, and next class. If you can touch your knee, that's enough. What we want to do is move forward, that's all. If you can touch your toes, good. If you can touch the floor, good. If you can only bend this far, good. But if today I do this, tomorrow can I do this, after 2 weeks can I do this, after 4 weeks can I do this, and then can I come down? See, that is the progression you want when you deal with people who are on the wrong side of 60, or nowadays 50. See, what is important is to give that space to grow in your practice. And again, we make a lot of protocols. But the problem with the protocol, I say yoga cannot be prescription. Because when they come to you on day 1, we have a 12-point system of analyzing the person based on guna, dosha. We look at the prana, we look at the chakric energies, and that is what determines the protocol we make for that individual. It's very personalized. Today we talk of personalized medicine. This is very personalized in that way. But the general guidelines will be that start where they are and lead them to where they can be. This is the progression of learning. But what do we do in yoga classes? Somebody comes in and by second day we want to, by hook or crook or pull or pulley, we want to get them into the final position. That is not the goal. I'm sorry, that is not the goal. Helping the person come out of the comfort zone into a zone that is challenging, that then becomes their new comfort zone, and then going into a challenging zone, and by the time I do that, I'm at the end of this. Now be careful you don't challenge yourself so much you fall off the cliff. That is where Viveka comes in. So because of the time, I'm not going to ramble on too much more, but go into the game because I don't know what she has planned up her long sleeves. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Thank you, sir. So I was thinking. So I was thinking of the Brahma Mudra, but doing it in a circle.
Great.
So one of the questions that
Ringa, Rosie.
comes up when we are stiff and we have to turn completely and we can't really, we lose the flexibility. Because think about this, we decide to evolve and stand up. Practically, when you really study the body, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, we have 2 small-ish feet. We rise up, we have fairly large hips. Then we come up here. Everything that is very delicate is pretty exposed. Then we have a very small neck where the vertebrae are the smallest, and then a big, heavy head. So you think, why did it take all of these millions of years to evolve to this? I mean, it's strange. So why is the neck so small? I mean, why don't we have a dragon neck? We could have, right? Why is it so slender? Because it is flexible. Because it is flexible. So losing the flexibility of the neck actually makes us lose a lot of different things, like freedom of thought, having different perspectives. being able to stand in your position but also look at something different. I mean, psychosomatically, they really manifest in this way. So now we're going to do something that is not very practical in terms of time, but so what? So we're going to make a circle. So the right hand, your right hand is coming down in this way, and your left hand is going up. And then you're holding the hands.
Yeah.
So right hand down,
We're here.
left hand up.
Right hand down, left hand up.
Got it?
It is.
No, not up. Just not up. Hold the hand. Look at us. Look at us.
Sangeeta comes from the land of Michelangelo, and she calls this a circle.
It's a circle as a cell is a circle.
Okay, it's a cell. Yeah, beautiful. This looks like a human cell.
It's
okay.
a cell. Okay, so relax your hands down.
Maybe what we do, why don't you come up? Few of you come up, then we'll have more of a circle. Please come up. Circle.
Yeah, it's a cell,
come.
it's a heart.
Yeah? They're all here.
Yeah, it's okay. Why do we do this? So that we both have one hand up and one hand down. So nobody's dominant over another.
Ah.
There's a reason. Okay, so here we're going to inhale and bring our arms up. And exhale and bring your arms down. And again.
Disclaimer, she has no idea of Indian politics and this gesture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's okay. Nothing to do with it. Okay, it's okay. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Inhale. Exhale. And start to actually feel a connection with the other person. Inhale. And exhale. And you can feel how the different hands of different people move according to their breath. Good. So now balance on your left foot and shake the right a little.
Uh-oh. Now starts the challenge.
And then back.
Okay. Uh-oh.
The others are going to support you, so just feel that. Don't be ashamed too much. Relax. Now balance on your right leg and shake the left. Sorry, Dr. Ananda, I had no idea. And backwards.
She never told me about this. That's good.
And relax, so he can also enjoy.
Keeps me on my toes.
Exactly. Inhale up.
Onto the toes.
Exhale down. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees. And come forward without bending over. Just come forward and stretch your spine a little bit. Then inhale, chin up. Exhale here. Inhale up on the toes. And exhale. Good. Inhale, hips forward a little bit. Hips, hips. Exhale, hips back. Are you comfortable, sir, with that? Inhale, forward. Stretch up the heart, open. Exhale, buttocks back. Do as little or as much as you like. Keep your eyes open. And last one, in, up. Inspiration. Exhale, relaxation. Good. Come on up. Now we're going to inhale, look to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, look all the way to the left. Relax your mouth. Take your time. Don't rush. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, look to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, look to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then come back to the center. Make this sound. Good. Then the videos now can look somewhere else. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Good. Relax. Look to the right and look to your left. One more time. And then make sure that your partners here are okay, they're comfortable. You can ask them, because you may hold your hands like this. And, yeah, everybody's okay? Okay. So yesterday, this is a variation. This is not how the practice is taught originally in standing. In fact, it's taught in Vajrasana. And it should be done in Vajrasana, but for certain contexts like this one, we want to maintain a level of playfulness, of being young at heart. And so now I'm asking permission to Dr. Ananda, because I didn't ask before, to adapt it to the circle.
Sure.
And because this is a community, it's beautiful how this practice can be adapted, because by looking to the right, I'll see a part of the person and this part of the circle, which I wouldn't see otherwise. And then we're coming back, so we inhale on 6, and we come back with the sound of Dr. Nanda will explain this briefly. We did it last night. That's why we're jumping in. Then we're going to go to the left, look to the left, and really look at all of the people without grasping, just gently. And then ooh. And then we'll look up. We did this exercise now, so just arch back, inhale, nice. And then always make sure your knees are not locked. Huh? And then the last one, inhaling, looking down, look at your beautiful feet. And then So the last thing I want to say, and then we'll practice, is that these practices we just did, and also being in a circle like this, even a circle of chairs, works really beautifully with the children who we call our seniors. Because it's playful, because it is a complete practice, even though everybody can just join where they are, but it is a complete practice. Inhaling, exhaling, moving the hips, moving the hands, but it maintains this sense of community, that people are not alone. And that's loneliness. It's the cause of about 75% of related diseases in the United States and Canada, loneliness. So,
Yeah.
Okay, exhale here. Inhale, look to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Come back to the center. Come back to the center. And then inhale, look to the left. In, 2, 3, 4. And while saying ooh, come back to the center. Breathing in, look up, chin up, stretch, coming back to the center, and then down, 2, 3, 4. Now gently release your hands. And we'll do 2 more times where now it's you on your own, but still part of the community of people. So exhale here, all the air out. And breathing in, look to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, look towards the left. 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. And down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Last one with eyes open, for those of you who had them closed. Really take a nice look. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And down. 2, 3, 4. Coming back up. Just take a moment to listen to the breath and just observe what's coming up for you in this moment, whether it's physical, emotional, any thought. And again, scan the body, just check where there may be some tension, physically, emotionally, mentally, and see if you can relax, bring a sense of relaxation in that area. And then gently open your eyes. And from here, if we had more time, we would go into a train. But
actually, what I thought is, we can have a 5-minute, you can just be where you are. We'll continue on to this now that we have you in a protozoan shape or a cell, okay. The sound of the heart center is young, like young at heart. And this is why the energy of the heart, we talk about being young at heart, the Bijakshara ya with a nga. Now often people make it as a yum, making it yummy, but actually it is a young. It is like, when the bell hits, that hitting, which is the tone, is always a nga, and then the residue is more a So the anuswara, it is said, gakara purva rupam, akaro madhyama rupam, anuswaras chanta rupam, bindu rutta rupam, nada sandhanam. The Ganesha Atharva Sirsha tells us this. That bang has to be there, and then the residual sound is heard. So when you chant as yang, I hope you are getting that nga. It's a nasal twang. Yang. This awakens that youthfulness. So what we are going to do is we are again going to hold hands. I'm going to start chanting, and we are just going to go around, so that what we do is that the sound is going pradakshina. Now, pradakshina is always a very important part of our culture. So let's see whether we can make it work. So this side of the circle in quotes will not be making the sound till it sort of comes here. And then you are making and we are sort of enjoying the residue of the previous sound. And we'll try to see if, so there's one group, a couple of people making the sound, the others are experiencing the residue. And let us see a few rounds if this can happen. This is a very good mantric chant for the heart. So as I said, even if a person cannot do an asana, cannot do a pranayama, they are lying in bed in the hospital, they can still chant. And if they cannot chant, you can chant with your hands on them. That has also, a sparsha has a great power also. Okay, so
the right, the right hand up, the left hand up, the right hand down, the left. One thing, sir, just a suggestion. So
please.
There's going to be a tendency to rush. It always happens in a circle, right? It's like, so what we're going to do is that, because it would be nice to have like yang, 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 so like that, not separate, but you know what I mean, like with a rhythm, otherwise like, and we don't understand what's happening. So let's, because we are blessed enough to have our hands in each other, we can go, the person chanting, invoking, with their hands, and we'll give a pulse so that it goes person by person by person and there's no rushing. Am I making myself clear? Not so much?
We have to vocalize.
This is going to be fun, okay? That much I know.
So for example, Dr. Ananda will begin.
Yeah.
I won't begin with him. Do you understand? It's going to yang, 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 keeping the mantra so that we really make a circle. Otherwise, we're just going to join each other and we're not going to get the point. Yeah? Let's try. We'll try a couple of times.
Give it a try a few times.
We have until 5 o'clock.
This is community building. So. See, hands are the extension of the heart. And our hands are connected. So the hearts are connected. So this is something that could be experienced very beautifully. Yeah. And now all chanting together. Letting the silence come in, contemplating the beautiful aftertone in our consciousness. The anahata nada that is felt after the ahata. Feel the vibration in the heart center, and through our hands connecting to all the hearts in this room. A heart-to-heart connectivity, a sense of oneness, wellness, wholesomeness. Please come back to your chair or wherever you are. That was, oh my God, beautiful experience.
Look at all of the smiles.
It's just, all the energies, that first round, I was enjoying the first round because we saw each individual sort of tone, and then we had this combined tone. It's like, the cellular orchestra. Each cell has its own vibration, each cell is having its own music, and then all the cells together become your symphony orchestra. And it was that type of experience. It was just beautiful. One was loud, one was not so loud, one was lower pitch, one was higher pitch, and you had all these beautiful individual variations. And then when we chanted together, wow. I'm having one of those spine-tingling moments. Beautiful. You can take a few minutes for any sharing or any questions that are there.
Should one ideally do it in a day if it's a working day?
A good question. Two parts of the question. I'll come to the second part first. How many minutes to do? Depending on how much time you have on your hands. So if you have time, try to build a sadhana that is 45 to 60 minutes would be ideal if you have time. If you don't have time, I would say minimum 15 to 20 minutes on a regular basis. So regularity, repetition, rhythm. Can we repeat that? Regularity, repetition, rhythm. Regularity, repetition, rhythm. Regularity, repetition, rhythm. You get it? That is what we want to build in. To come to the HDL, LDL, as a medical student, I think when I went into medicine, I have been part of yoga, or yoga has been part of my life for the years I am alive plus 9 months, because I was conceived in yoga. Both my father and mother have been amongst the greatest yoga masters and very consciously decided to have me. And so I always say I was conceived in yoga, and my mother was practicing even till the day of delivery, and in the labor room was crawling around on all fours doing pranayamas and practices which scared the Clooney sisters who were delivering her. They thought some and the pranayama, because right down at cellular respiration, what happens is you have the mitochondria. And these mitochondria, how do they create energy? They need oxygen. If the oxygen levels that are getting to your cells are deficient, none of that is going to happen. So if you don't breathe properly, you are not going to even have cellular energy proper, which means that how do you think you are not going to be fatigued? The moment you start to breathe healthy, every cell will start to respond. And the cells that are responsible for breaking down the cholesterol, they start to be strengthened, and HDL comes out as number 1. I hope that helps. Yes, please.
So I have parents who are almost 100 years old.
Wow.
And what can I do for them from this point of view to help them
Yeah.
in their daily life?
I think as a son, what I have understood is that I am fortunate to serve my mother when she is not well. I think the most important thing is for us to remember that we have been given life by our parents. Whether they were good parents, bad parents, ugly parents is immaterial. We were given life by them. And when my mother is bedridden with a stroke, it is my opportunity to give back to her of the life she has given me. So I think the Seva Bhavana is the best thing we can give our parents. That is the first one. Seva Bhavana, not that, oh, look at me, I'm helping you. No. I am fortunate to help you. I have been given an opportunity. I didn't have an opportunity to serve my father because by the time I got back from medical college, he had left the body. I just saw him in the morning in ICU and he was gone the next day. With my mother, she has given me the opportunity. So I think we need to realize it is an opportunity to serve. So Seva Bhavana. Second thing is, can we smile when we are around them? What does an elderly parent want more than joyful children, joyful relatives, a joyful family, rather than morose ones which taking care of you, I have wasted my life. Isn't that, this is typical. I see this. I don't know. Hundreds of thousands of people's lives I know and I see it again and again. Why don't you just die? Basically. When tsunami hit us, the tsunami hit my whole village. We live on the Bay of Bengal and thousands of huts were destroyed. Our ashram wall was taken off and many people died. So the government announced those who died would get 1 lakh rupees. Those who were injured would get 10,000 rupees. And I actually first-hand witnessed people telling the elderly parents, why didn't you die when the tsunami came? I would have got 1 lakh. And in case they had known the government will give 1 lakh, they would have lined people up and pushed them into the ocean. I am telling you a ground root, the grassroot reality. And this is why if you can be cheerful, my mother used to say, if you cannot be anything else, be cheerful to the people around you. Isn't that what we want in a family? When I go home from work, don't I want to see a family that is cheerful? And as an elderly parent who is facing their imminent mortality, what will be more satisfying than their children or their grandchildren being cheerful with them? Every day I spend 40 minutes to an hour with my mother singing bhajans. That is the best time of the day. This is Nada Yoga in action. Now you say, oh yeah, but what about your time? I'm like, that is the best time I have. I have the best time because in singing with her, she is feeling better. And if she is feeling better, I am better. And if I am better, she is better. You feed into a positive, what is called a virtuous spiral instead of a vicious spiral. We are locked in vicious spiral of hate, greed, anger. And can we turn it around? That is Pratipaksha Bhavana. And help them breathe. Because Sri Deshikacharya, who was one of my mentors, he used to say, if you can breathe, you can do yoga. And I take that as my baseline. I have been in operation theatres. One day post open heart surgery, I was given a referral by our director who was a cardiothoracic surgeon. Dr. Ananda, do something for the patient. When I walked in, my friends who were there like, what are you doing in here in ICU? And I said, I've been given a referral. What can you do? Help the person breathe. And where did I start? Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. 5 days later, this person gets discharged, and the other people who were admitted with him and had the surgery on same day took 3 more days to get out of the hospital. So if we can help our elderly relatives breathe, slow deep breathing, sing bhajans with them, be joyful around them, cheerful around them, don't complain. This complaining disease of, what have you done? My whole life is wasted because of you. Come on. Anyway, I go off on that. For me, this is therapy. Therapy is not which asana or which pranayama. Therapy is what you are. You become the therapy. And when you can be with someone, a friend of mine in the USA had heart issues, and he said, I was going into one of these AF situations, and I was sitting next to him. He said, just sitting next to you, I came back into the healthy, harmonious sinus rhythm. Just sitting next to you. That is the therapy you want to be. You want to be the therapy. And if you are cheerful and say, I have been given an opportunity to serve my elderly parents in their last days, what better punya do you need? Yes.
In the previous session, after the yoga, what we did, I was actually feeling sleepy. So in the previous session, after the practice, I was feeling sleepy and got me very worried. Isn't yoga supposed to actually make you more alert? So I just wanted to actually just share
Beautiful.
that, with everyone. And now that, when you say that HDL is karma yogi.
Yes.
So within the paradigm of yoga, what is sleep?
Beautiful question. Sleep is the experience through which we rebuild ourselves. So in yoga, we talk about different states of consciousness, Jagrat, which is the wakeful. Then you have Swapna, which is the dream sleep. Sushupti, which is dreamless sleep. And then the concept of Turiya and Atita, Turiya, Atita, which are different. Sushupti is the goal of yogic sleep. Yogic sleep, especially the practice of yoga nidra, wants us to experience Sushupti avastha. Because in Sushupti, it is like you have connected to your universal charger. We put our phone and connect it to the electricity. In Sushupti, we connect to the universe, and that 20 to 30 minutes in 8 hours of sleep. Remember, non-REM deep sleep, Sushupti is only about 20-30 minutes in a whole night's sleep. That is the most important. When you are dreaming or when you are waking, there's all the metabolic activity, all the physiological alertness, and you are burning yourself out. So yoga is saying that we want people to be able to tune into the Sushupti state. But Sushupti, when you sleep, is unconscious. So you don't know you're in Sushupti. But when you do yoga nidra and many of these type of practices, you experience Sushupti without having to sleep for it. And this is where you have cellular repair. So cellular repair is important. Now often when we do the relaxation like Shavasana, and in our tradition, every session you do 50 minutes of Yogasana, you should have 10 minutes of Shavasana. And my father would say it is in Shavasana you get the benefit of all the practices you did. Often people go to sleep in Shavasana and they feel very embarrassed because everybody wakes up and get up. All this goes on. Kids are horrible, they start pinching each other. I teach a lot of children. That's why I love teaching children. That is the best karma yoga you can do, is teach children. But what happens? They get very embarrassed. And I say, don't be embarrassed. If in yogic relaxation you fall asleep, your body was craving for it. Your body wanted that rest, and because of your constant, I have to meet the deadline, you were not listening to your body. And when you lay down in Shavasana, the body said, thank God, I can now sleep. So if in yoga practices you find yourself going into sleep and all, it means your body was needing it, and you are actually giving the body what it was craving. I would like to emphasize that each individual is different. So, what I would do is actually sit with you for about 45 minutes, find out what are your needs, physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, see what practices you can do that would give us the benefit of getting towards the goal we want. So, there is a therapeutic relationship, there is goal setting, and that is how it should come. But what I would say is that as a principle, there should be a mixture of certain activating physical practices, whether you're just going on your toes and back or not, or doing this or whatever, something to activate should be there. There should be a little bit of twisting brought into it to create the turnability. There should little be of front bending, back bending, whatever be the practice. There should definitely be all these practices done with breath and body movement together. So, as you stretch up, you breathe in. As you stretch down, you breathe out. So, this breath-body coordination should be built into, irrespective of what practice it is, at least 15 minutes of some sort of breath-related practice, be it Kapalbhati, Anulom Vilom, Bhramari, Nadi Shuddhi, Vibhaga, Pranava. The technique actually doesn't matter, but you need that breath-based practice, and very, very important, 10 minutes, and if you have time, 15 minutes of some relaxation based practice. Even just lying down in Shavasana and doing the deep breathing. Today, in the next session, we'll teach a pranayama which is the box breathing. It is actually Sukha Purvaka pranayama. It is excellent to reduce anxiety and stress. Something like that you can do lying down. Or we did the A-U-Ma, you can do it lying down. In our patients in the hospital, my therapist said, these patients who are coming cannot sit and do it. So we had them lie down and do it. I'm like, seriously, where do we do this? They said, we tried. So we did a study. Sitting and doing pranava, how beneficial. Lying down and doing pranava was also beneficial in patients of diabetes and hypertension. So you could just be lying down and breathing in and 3 times. Ooh, you could do it. It actually is amazing. The changes in blood pressure, and we also showed some changes in blood sugar. So this is the general principle I would give rather than specific asanas. The rule of thumb is whenever you are stretching up, you breathe in. Whenever you are coming back down, you breathe out. Now here in the common yoga protocol, I was part of the team that made it. What we do is that we exhale and we turn. We inhale, we come back to the center. So exhale, because when you exhale, the pressure inside won't be so much, so you can turn better. But then there are also people who say you can inhale and turn, exhale and come back. So this is sort of 2 variations, but in general, you lift, you inhale, you lower. So if I'm coming into a sitting, I breathe out. From sitting to standing, breathe in. So lift with the breath, lower with the breath, but lift with the inhalation, lower with the exhalation. This is the general rule of thumb.
Okay, so thank you once again, Dr. Ananda and Dr. Sangeeta for this very insightful session.